Tim Ash, Public Relations Manager for the RNLI.
Fantastic. Tim, just tell us what you know about this incident, I suppose, from the moment the alarm was raised.
Okay, well, two of our lifeboats from Aith and Lerwick were both launched in response to reports of the incident. Both lifeboats obviously had to cover some ground to get to the site of the incident, but I understand that they are now on scene. Things have progressed quite a lot, but our lifeboats are now searching for what I understand to be 3 outstanding people from the helicopter crew.
Do you know anything about the scene and what it was like when they arrived? We've heard reports that the lifeboats from the helicopter were found empty. Do you know if that's correct?
I don't, I'm afraid. I can't comment on that. In terms of the conditions that our lifeboat crew are facing, I can talk briefly about that. I gather there are some quite strong tides in the area where the helicopter went into the water. Our lifeboat crews have reported seeing some wreckage in the sea, and the winds are not particularly strong, but having said that, the visibility is not particularly good either. So it's quite a challenge for our volunteer lifeboat crews on scene.
And how long will that search go on for tonight?
We will search until such time as we're stood down by the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard will be sort of coordinating the search and rescue activity as they always do. But the RNLI's volunteer crews will be out as long as needs be, and they're just sort of regular folk who've responded to the pager and gone out to sea to help.
They save hundreds of lives in the capital every year, but despite regularly being called upon to risk their own to save others, the RNLI gets no money from the government. So now the Royal National Lifeboat Institution is launching a very public appeal for cash.
The RNLI were called out more than 500 times last year, but they say they need your donations to stay afloat and keep offering a service. And they're using this week, London Lifeboat Week, to highlight it.
We're actually have no government funding whatsoever. The Royal National Lifeboat Institution relies completely on voluntary contributions and legacies, so it's absolutely vital that we get funds from members of the public.
The organisation is keen to point out that this is more than a one-man...
Time for the tide was down, would you?
It's mostly close inshore.
Tim, how does the funding work with the RNLI then? I said at the beginning it's purely charitable. That seems a bit odd in this day and age, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. A lot of people are still surprised. A lot of people don't even know that. I mean, we're constantly working to raise awareness of the fact that we are a charity and we rely on voluntary contributions. People kind of make the assumption that we are either part and parcel of the Coast Guard or we're just another arm of the government, which is just not true.
Shouldn't you be?
Well, some people say that, but to be honest, we've been a charity since our inception in 1824, and we've always prided ourselves on the support that we get from supporters, members of the public, and it's always worked really very well since then, and we continue to do so.
Because there's the kind of...
All over the UK, we're hearing your stories of how you've been fighting back against doorstep crime. The lifeboat station at Eastbourne is amongst the busiest in the country. The crew are well aware of the impact that doorstep criminals have on their work and on hundreds of other good causes right across the UK.
The charity relies on collections like this, so when criminals abuse our name in this way and run these bogus collections, it really does have a detrimental effect. We think it's appalling because at the end of the day, that money, which will be used for saving lives at sea, is no longer coming our way. Our advice to anyone who suspects a charity scam might be happening in their area is to be vigilant. Please don't just turn a blind eye and not bother to report to the authorities. Either telephone the charity that's relevant or call the local authorities such as the police.